Hello, friends, and welcome back to The Free Advantage. I'm your host, Heather Davis, and I want to invite you into a new season of real stories, real recovery, and real freedom. This show has always been about self-discovery, authenticity, and recovering a life of freedom. And this year, we are taking that journey together in a deeper way. You're going to hear raw, honest conversations with people walking this path in real time. Stories of growth, healing, purpose, and becoming whole. You'll also hear from me as I reflect on these themes that rise from the stories, answer your questions, and offer small, meaningful takeaways that you can carry back into your week. This is not just a podcast you listen to. It's a place you belong, where you are part of the conversation. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. How is everyone's week going so far? Mine has been a lot. It's been a little overwhelming. I'm excited. I'm having a good time, but I've been doing a lot of work. I have been creating and writing a lot in these past few months, and this week is a last final push before I release my new website. I'm super excited. It's a true labor of love, and I'm ready to put it out in the world for you guys. I have lots of new content. I will keep you updated, so when it's all ready, you guys can go check it out. I know this year is just full of firsts for me. I'm releasing a new website. I have so much new content for everybody. I'm releasing video, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. And sometimes good things can be a little overwhelming, but yeah, I'm excited. I wanted to thank you guys for your support. You are really showing up for me with me posting the video. So I'm so thankful and I'm so appreciative of that. And if you haven't already, if you haven't gotten to listen or watch in, we have been going over Anna's story. It's about 2 episodes back. If you want to go watch and listen to that, you can catch up to where we are now or just continue to join in from where we are. But we've been going back over a lot of the themes and topics that showed up during that conversation. And last week we explored why we go back to situations that we don't always want to be in. We discussed why peace is hard, why it's difficult to live in good situations and in peaceful situations after being in toxic ones, and why relapse happens. Why after we've been doing really well, we've come really far, we've grown a lot, we've moved past a lot of things, why do we slip back into those same old places sometimes? And this week, I really wanted to explore 2 other things that really showed up during that conversation, and that was self-worth and willingness. And it's really one of the biggest patterns I see, not just with Anna's story, but with so many others, including mine. We don't choose based on what we want. When we're in a lot of these situations and we keep kind of going around that same mountain over and over, no matter what it is, that's those same patterns that show up for us. We need to understand that we're not always choosing based on what we want. We really are choosing based on what we believe that we deserve. When our self-worth is low, we tolerate things that cost us. Things that cost us our dignity, our voice, and our peace. We stay in relationships that undermine our identity. They control our narrative. They cause us to continue in that same toxic pattern over and over again. And we keep returning to the same kind of environments that confirm what we already believe about ourselves. We're constantly putting ourselves back in those situations because we truly believe that's what we deserve. Even if it's not happening like in the forefront conscious of our mind, subconsciously, that is what's happening. And Anna, she did not struggle because she lacked opportunity. No, that is not what it was. She definitely had a lot of opportunity for growth and for love, and especially when she had come into our lives. But she really started to struggle because safety felt super unfamiliar and her worth felt conditional. What I want us to understand is that self-worth is not confidence. It's not even our self-esteem. And the definition that I use for self-worth is this. Self-worth is the fundamental belief about who we are. why we exist, our belonging in our world, and what we deserve. It is directly linked to our value. And it permeates every single decision that we make. We make decisions based on what we believe we deserve and what we think we're worth. When Anna kept leaving and coming back, it wasn't because she didn't know better. It was because she didn't believe that love could last, that it was a good thing, that it was meant for her. She did not believe that she was allowed to stay in that. And so many of us have put ourselves in that position over and over and over again. We put ourselves in toxic situations, negative situations, scary situations, dangerous ones, all because we believe that we don't deserve better. And it's not because we don't know. It's not because we don't know better. We know that we don't want these things. We know that they're not good for us. And sometimes we are aware that it is happening. But the truth is insight and awareness doesn't create change. It does not automatically lead us into the actions that we want. Most of us are already in the knowledge and understanding that we're hurting. We know that relationships are draining us. We know that the patterns we have are not doing us well and that we keep doing them over and over again. But knowing and choosing are two very different things. Anna knew she was safer. She knew she was loved. She knew the environment was good. Yet, knowing didn't make her willing. It's all about timing with each of us. We all have a time. There's no forcing it. There's no making it go any faster. I've learned this in my own life. I've learned this with clients. I've learned this with my children. Change doesn't happen when we have all of the information. It happens when something inside of us shifts saying, I know, and I do not want to keep doing this. There's a point we all have to come to, and it's different for everybody. We sometimes think that everybody has to hit their rock bottom, right? Everybody, once they get to their rock bottom, things will change. It's not always true. Sometimes you do have to get to rock bottom, but sometimes there are certain things that happen. There are certain catalysts. Sometimes there's an awakening that happens within us that where we get to that point and we're like, yes, I don't want this anymore. And it changes and shifts something within us where we become a little bit more willing to make different decisions. For me, I live by this mantra. It's I can and I will. And it is something that I repeat to myself daily, sometimes multiple times a day. And I've been doing it a lot through this process, learning how to work video equipment and microphones and computers that don't want to work together, and learning how to present myself as myself and being authentic, but not looking back and going, oh, I'm super cringy. Like, it's hard. It's hard, but I have to continue to tell myself I can do this and I will do this. So it's like that with everything. It's not just in things that we want to do. It's learning how to get ourselves out of these situations that we don't want to be anymore, the patterns. And our willingness really is the true turning point. It's not our readiness. It's not our confidence. It's not courage. I mean, it takes those things. It takes courage. But willingness is mostly, it's our honesty, right? It's the moment the cost of staying becomes greater than the fear of leaving. Anna's growth did not begin because everything was perfect. It began because she was willing to stop running even though she felt uncomfortable. Support systems matter. Community matters. Love matters. But no one can be willing for you. No one can do that work for you. That is something that has to come from within. And when you start asking yourself those questions, like I like to ask you, like the phrase back in the 90s was like, what would Jesus do? And I like to ask people, what would someone who has self-worth do? It's not as catchy. I get it. It's not catchy. It's not something we're just going to throw on a bracelet. But what would somebody who is worthy do? I want to encourage you this week. If there is something that you struggle with in that area and you want something different, you want to be more willing, know that you can. You can get that. It is a choice that we can make, even when it feels difficult, even when it feels hard. But ask yourself, if you have a hard time making certain decisions, ask yourself, what would somebody who is worthy choose? And let's start making decisions based on worth. You don't even have to feel that worthiness in yourself. Even remove yourself from that situation. Excuse me, if somebody asks, like, oh, they're worthy, they deserve that. If they had this situation, what would they do? And sometimes that makes us think twice about ourselves. And sometimes it opens the door and goes, oh, as you move into this next week, I pray for willingness for everyone. I pray that if you're in a place where you feel stuck or you feel lost or you feel like you're going around that same mountain over and over and over again, you keep coming back and going back and forth. I pray that you find the willingness within yourself to take the actions to move forward in the direction that you truly deserve. And that we start to begin to see ourselves as worthy of having value, to create better, to be better, and to choose better. Because the choice belongs to you. Next week, it's going to be all about you guys. I am doing a Q&A episode. So all the questions you all have been sending in, I'm going to be answering on the air. You still have time. If you want to go on my website, I have a share your story button in my menu. You can click that and you can send questions in through there as well, or you can email me at heather@theriskypath.com. If you have questions on Anna's journey, if you have questions of your own, if you're curious about something that I've said, or you have your own curious ideas about something, just go ahead and send it in. I would love to hear from you guys. This is a place for all of us where the conversation can happen between us all, not just me up here talking to Mike. And I'm looking forward to it. I am still a little nervous, so I'm still kind of getting used to it. I have my notes to kind of keep me on track, so I appreciate you all joining and bearing with me, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining me today here on The Free Advantage. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you so much. Oh, and remember, freedom is the advantage you guys already own. Till next time.